Alright, kittens. This is going to be another rig Strongholds, just if you want to watch it. It has some positive examples of what to do, also lots of negative examples, but at least a couple good positive examples of some of the things that I like to see done on this map. Um, it's randos, it's matchmaking, except for me and Garrett, so it's a little disorganized sometimes, but yeah, let's just get right to it. Notice off the spawn, we're going to change targets and prioritize them a little bit differently. Get a couple shots on that guy, just deter him from challenging me, but I'm immediately going to try and bait and switch with this guy. I've never played with him before, but I don't really need to, just to know that if he's got the railgun, I need to keep him alive. Now here, we've got a good opportunity. Garrett overextended a little bit with his camouflage and died in basement, but if I go straight over the top here towards Carbine, I'm going to catch this guy right here on the catwalk, and then I'm going to be able to jump over this onto Carbine and start shooting these guys in the back and basement. Unfortunately, I hear a call out for stairs. I was looking at this staircase. Garrett met the staircase over there by Carbine. So I looked at this, missed it. I also should have just like slowed down and looked, but hey, sometimes you screw up. But overall, we've got a good opportunity here. We've just slayed them out. Unfortunately, because we don't get this guy coming back from Nest, they are blocking Carbine, and we're going over here to be our base. I'm going to have a chance to kill Matt, but real quick here again, because Pump pushed all the way out there, straight through there, instead of just like locking this side of the map down, they spawn up barrels and go back to kill him. Garrett and I are going to get this guy because I got a good grenade. But Pump extends himself out here where he's going to get caught. I get one shot on that guy, call him out to Garrett. Garrett tries to get him, but he pulls out a perfect because he was pretty good. So here we're just going to slow down, wait for spawns, and find somebody to pick. So here I stopped. I was looking at long haul to make sure no one was there. But once I heard these guys, I jumped out and started shooting at them. Got just enough damage on them that I thought my guys on the outside could win, and came back for this long haul. So that's 3 dead. The last one has just managed to kill Garrett, who's on Nest, while Pete is back down like an asshole. But I'm going to go as quick as I can to go and stop this Carbine. This is the big play that I think Kitty Squad is missing sometimes. It's the idea that Pete, even though he was an asshole to Garrett, is already challenging. Even though we're not communicating with each other at all, he knows just that we've got 3 down, we need to get some damage. He can distract this guy, and even though I was one shot right there, I know I was about to get my shields back, and I could just start shooting this guy, and by the time he turned around, either I'd have my shields back or he'd be dead. Now here, Pump spawned at barrels. We have 4 dead. 3 of them have just come off respawn. He should be capping basement. And we'd have 1, 2, 3. He would have already been 4 seconds in. I wouldn't have been able to help. We'd be done by now. But now Garrett and I get stuck in here for another 4 seconds, which is the difference between me managing to get up here and not taking the nade. Now, again, we're going after them at Nest, trying to cap Nest too early before we've got a round of slays that will allow us to do so. I should be taking the jump up here on the stronghold box, and Garrett and I miscommunicate, so he draws attention for me too, instead of helping with this guy. I'm calling him out like 3 or 4 times, and Garrett just isn't hearing or something. So the grenade that Garrett got the attention of in E2 finishes me off when I could have killed the ground pounder with my scatter shot. Just very, very unfortunate turn of events. So basically the net effect here is that they've done a good job. All 3 of them have already collapsed on this. I don't know if you guys saw that. They've gone straight through, said like, fuck it, we're not just going to sit out here at Nest like doofuses. We're going to push this barrels really hard, get our kills over there, and get in and control Carbine. Now, weapons and equipment are coming up right now, so we're going to try and slow down on this side and get them. This is something that, again, Kitty Squad sometimes has trouble with. So I'm going to see that guy. Garrett finishes my kill in basement, the one hit that I called out. I managed to sneak up on this guy because I don't show up on radar. And again, set up what should be a pretty easy one hit, except my teammates can't hear him. Now we have got a little bit split up, allowing this guy in bunker because Garrett pushed early and died in basement while I was like I said, getting the power weapons. But I did get away with them, and we've got the poor man set up right now. So Pump gets the reset. Garrett calls out to stop nest. I say, okay. Start shooting him. I should have just let him go at this point, but Garrett got caught by the guy in basement window, and this dude spawned like literally right in the only place where he could have fucked me, which was very unfortunate. So even though I got a double kill, we don't quite have the control that we need pushing towards Carbine, because now that I'm dead, no one's blocking it. Here, I see this guy fighting, try to respond by soaring in through the basement window. Unfortunately, they just go up where we can't kill them and spawn back behind us at barrels. One guy spawned and one guy just rotated. So this isn't the worst thing in the world because we're getting away with stuff because we've got the setup right now with Nest and BR base. It's not optimal, but it's enough that if we keep forcing them to come back to basement and like keep getting them stuck at Carbine, they're not going to be able to get out and get the Nest capture. So what we want to do is be arrayed in a position where we can push barrels while they're rotated out towards Nest, and that's exactly what happens. I'm here, we've got a couple too many people over there, so Garrett dies and gets melted, but we've got 3 people dead now because we got a double kill, and I'm going to be pushing over here to try and stop Carbine. Unfortunately, because neither of those guys was set up like towards Whitehall, and they were too concerned with getting these kills and defending Nest, spawns are still going to come up on Carbine, so I'm able to get a couple shots on him, but not enough to deter the Carbine spawns. Now we're just back to square one, right? Where our teammates need time to respawn. So I'm just going to be as much of a nuisance as possible, keep them here, and maybe, get a numbers advantage for us coming off of the spawn. Eventually they kill me, but it was essentially 3-on-1, so we've now just managed to reset Nest again and kept this going at least. And the rig, a lot of times you're just making the best of a bad situation. Now here I should know if I spawn in this shit, that means bunker is blocked, which means I should just be hopping straight up to E2 behind this guy as soon as I hear him. Unfortunately, I'm being stupid, so I'm sprinting over here, trying to get up. And I'm that much delayed means I'm that late, and HTS dies on the Nest instead of dying in the E2, so he's able to kill Garrett, and now we don't have a numbers advantage. So here again, pump over challenges. I think maybe I can poke out and get some help on one of these guys, but no. I'm going to slow down, stay alive. Again, we've got the power weapons coming up soon. I'd rather do that. Here our callouts get a little bit messy. So I hear tower and not tower 1. So I look tower 2 and don't find him. And see, that's the difference between if I hear tower 1, I'm looking at cuts and I punish that guy. They don't have 2 people over there, but now they do have 2 people because I wasn't able to punish him, which means I get melted, going for the railgun, and we completely lose control. And they get a BR base. So this is bad. We spawn Carbine. Excuse me, but they have control. Camo coming up. Garrett's calling out camo, so I'm going to try and get up there and deal with it. I see Pump die. I'm like, fuck it. I'd rather just have the camo. We're not desperating for any strongholds. We can let them score some points. It's not the end of the world. Here I kind of wind up as bait just between all these guys, but I didn't really have anywhere to go. And at the very least, I bought Garrett some time to get away with the camo. I'm sure there's a better play I could have made, but I'm not interested in analyzing it right now because this isn't for me. This is for you guys, and there are a couple good stuff. Okay, right there. Look how huge that was for that guy. We've talked about this before, dying at the stairs and in barrels versus going up yellow pipes. He's taking my advice, which I haven't taken all day. And avoided my perfectly placed prediction grenades by going up there. I should say my otherwise perfectly placed prediction grenades. So now over here, I'm looking at yellow pipes because I know he was there, but he's playing faster than that. Almost able to get him. I swear that was a headshot. I get my plasmas and think I can stick him and trade, but no, I can't stick. I'm bad. But overall, we're still able to collapse on this because that guy was super weak and was rotating out there, and Garrett's being a nuisance in BR base. So because we managed to capture Nest earlier, and and take BR base somehow, taking even just the strongholds that they gave us. We've been able to set up. And now Pump decides he wants to take strongholds. And let's go over my perspective now. Check this out. This is something that Kitty Squad needs to learn how to do. We saw that Pump was solo capping that. I could have come over and helped him. But what would that give them in terms of territory? That would give them tower. Like, this guy would survive BR base, they would cap it right away. Pete would be stuck out there at nest because Pete is an asshole. But if I were down here, we'd wind up in that situation like when Garrett and I got killed at nest, right? They're allowed to operate with relative freedom. While if I'm here, look, I get to hurt this guy. He's one hit going into tower 2. I get to fight this guy and keep him out of Whitehall. Again, Pete is such an asshole, not helping. He waited a real long time for that help. And then shot me in the back 3 times of the 4 that I took. But over here, as you can see, we were able to bottle them up and get some kills on them. That guy did get away in tower 1, but we're going to be able to rotate on this spacement more before he's going to be able to cap it. Now here we make a bit of a mistake with everybody going down low. If Garrett had stayed up in long haul, we might have had a better chance, but still, this guy tries to ground pound. I get ground pounded by Pump because he's an asshole. I hate randos in matchmaking. So I end up dying because Pump ground pounded me, and this guy gets away. But if Pump hadn't been an idiot, we totally would have killed this guy really, really easily and had absolute control. So let's follow Garrett for a little while. He's going to try and stop nest, but they're going to go out and kill us there. Again, because I died, because Pump was an asshole and got us all stuck in the bottom because he decided to ground pound me when there was no one around, we're now losing control. So here, they may be setting up a triple cap, but we're getting BR base, and I'd rather have the slays. I prioritized the wrong guy there, unfortunately. I should have been a little more patient, a little more cautious. And this was rather unfortunate too, even though I thrust it away. Somehow ground pounding on the top of that kills anybody who thrusts in the opposite direction. But still, we're able to collapse on this really fast. And as you can see, we've taken Carbine because we got that double kill at nest. And the third guy went down here in basement to grenades rather than to my railgun, but I would have been in a position to kill him with the railgun if I'd been able to hear someone calling out that, or if we hadn't got him with the grenades. Or if we had callouts, I would have known that I could shoot the other guy. Anyway, so here we got a nice collapse here. They're pushing up to us on nest. Unfortunately, Pete went for it just a little bit too early. I thought maybe I could go up and get these guys. Would have had the double if there were only 2 guys, but unfortunately, the third guy is up there, and I go down. Now I think here is where I start playing really dumb, so we're going to switch over to Yu-Gi-Oh's perspective and see what he's doing. So I got a nice little grenade to defend basement. So Garrett's spawning barrels. He knows that they're soft over here, and we can force them out towards nest, which is where we want them to die. Now Garrett's actually going to initiate a BR base cap, force people to come back to him, and hopefully open up opportunities for us in basement. So we get those kills, but it's not enough for us to be able to cap nest. And I get myself blown up. Okay, so here finally we made a decent play to get up towards nest. And Garrett, again, here we're recognizing that he may be solo capping, but it's better to get up here and contest the entire way to buy more time overall than to get the 6-second cap, but let them operate. But let them operate freely. See, Garrett gets a little bit lost. Overall, we're just not quite all getting it together. Except now we do. We finally kind of have things under control. and we're forcing them out towards nest. So it was a little bit sloppy, but here now we've got what we finally needed, right? Garrett managed to get that kill and get that cap at nest. We managed to defend basement, even though it was ugly and scrappy. My fighting wasn't good, and I got myself naded a couple times. We were successful at it because we got just enough damage on people, and we funneled them out towards nest. Now they're spawning at barrels, but we're going to collapse on that before they're able to do anything. So here, already a basement. It takes a little longer than I probably should have to get there, but again, it's fast enough. And in the meantime, Garrett has somehow managed to solo cap BR base on these guys while they were all dead. Rotated back here, then turned around and killed this guy who was pushing through tower. And watch this. Instead of just sitting back and like letting them go and being lazy, we get up here. Pump is in a good position finally and goes and gets a kill with his railgun. Garrett's going to get tower 2. I'm going to get up here. Look E2, no one's there. We melt this guy in BR base. We're going to start initiating a cap again. I double check that no one's spawning at barrels because I know that we've got a teammate already over by carbine. Pete. He's going to defend nest. Garrett is going and getting as much attention as he can trying to cap this, forcing people to come back for it. And again here, we're just making people weak, forcing them to back down, and this has allowed us to get a nice little string of about 25 points. From here, there's nothing they can do to us that we can't defend because we're getting up, we're getting shots, and as soon as those people are dying, we're going back and checking the two places that we're worried about, which is barrels and carbine. So hopefully, I know it went by real fast, but you guys can rewind and just watch that a couple times if you want to. Find out what was going on when we were really running the map at the end there. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all the effort that you guys make to try and learn these game types. Hopefully, if you take anything away from this, again, it's that you die a lot at nest. Dying at nest is bad. You want to get the important part of the map and slay out before you try and capture any stronghold, regardless of which one it is. It's that maybe sometimes, I know Garrett really loves to do this, where like he goes out and tries to solo cap something, and he knows that he's a tough enough kill that people will, it will take 2 people to come back and get him a significant percentage of the time, which allows us to operate freely on the other side of the map. But the big takeaways are how much territory you can cover just from this little nexus area here, where like I get a kill, we back somebody down from tower, go long haul, and we're immediately at carbine, blocking the spawns there. That when people pushed barrels, they had more success in sweeping through carbine and taking control of it, and that oftentimes that will fail if somebody is stupid and gets killed early, going out to nest, or going into basement window before we're able to get the overwhelming force coming in on the barrel side. Then, obviously the weapons are really important. You've got control of the 2 biggest pieces of equipment from here. You've got access to the scatter shot. Everything important happens between this little area. You can pick people off at the catwalk and go back over here to long haul and get kills, like I did at the beginning of the game. You can collapse on the carbine again, like I did at the beginning of the game. And if your teammates are smart, as soon as they recognize that you do have a bunch of people down, get in the stronghold. Get in the stronghold real quick and let the other people go up and defend it. And then, once we have control, just get up, shoot people, make them die, make them pay for it, and then back down when you have to, and come back and find whoever spawned behind you. Because frequently somebody will. You just have to be ready for it, and you'll be able to stop them from doing anything bad. So that's going to do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.